Hey folks, and all be all here, and welcome to the Wampa Cave. As you can see over here, we've made some changes to the layout. I decided to up the production quality a little bit and finally figured out OBS. So I'm able to move over my recording from a mobile phone, which I used to do before, to the computer. And that comes with better audio. I've got new headsets that I want to try out, more interactive gameplay. So this way you get to see my live reactions as I do the battles. I always find videos where people explain their gameplay face to face, more interactive than just a voiceover. So decided to eventually move to that direction. And in the future, I think I'm going to add some live music as well, and maybe eventually move to live streaming too on Twitch or YouTube. But that's something I'll probably figure out a little later. Small steps. So let's get on with the video for today. It's going to be a regular GAC video, but there's going to be two different parts to it. The first part, first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to talk about the new Beskar Mando that I've just unlocked. I want to talk about a few comps related to the Beskar Mando. And then I'm going to move on to the GAC battle during the last 10 to 15, during the last portion of the video. So depending on which part you want to see, feel free to skip ahead. So, as you guys can see, I decided to go really all in for the new Mandalorian. Even though I just have two GLs, I could have gone for my third GL, but I just had a good feeling about this the new Beskar Mandalorian just by reading the kit and by seeing the potential that this character can have and how it can transform the scoundrel faction. And obviously the armorer is still missing. And the armorer coming in is going to give to this Mandalorian and the rest of his scoundrel faction the same thing that Malik did for the Sith Empire team when he came in. DR was a little underwhelming with EP countering him all over the place, if you guys remember. Still good on offense, but once Malik came in, it completely transformed the team. So I think that's something that is going to happen once the armorer comes in. But even as is, the team is really great on offense, at least. Tons of potential, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. As you can see over here, I have given R5 to my Beskar Mando. I've given R3 to IG11, modded him for health, 125k, and Quill I've just got him to G13, and give him in really fast speeds, 334. And if you guys have watched Clash's latest video, he's obviously the scoundrel expert, but he's a lot of the theory crafting that I'm doing today is based off of the back of what Clash has done, what he's initially proposed in terms of the turn order, the way that you should think about utilizing the whistling birds for Mandalorian, for example. All of that thinking, the baseline comes from there. And what essentially he's saying is pretty simple. You start with Quill. He has to be the fastest, 330, 350 speed. Once he goes first, he has this unique which gives a 25% turn meter to all scoundrels. Ideally, you want to run this team with all scoundrels. You get 25% turn meter, which means that even a 245, 250 speed scoundrel with the 25% turn meter gain is going to go at 330 speed, more than 330 to 340 speed. So that's ideally you would want your scoundrels to be at least 240, 250 speed because that will make them effectively faster than anything that the opponent can have once Queel does his special. After Queel does his special, you want IG-11 to go next to do an AoE. Oh, sorry, not IG-11. After Queel does a special, you want Mandalorian to go next. So Mandalorian should be a second fastest scoundrel because you want Mandalorian to go and use his discipline setup, which is go and get the whistling birds set up. And then anytime that any of the enemies get damaged, it adds one stack to the whistling bird. So Mandalorian goes second. I have my Mandalorian around 245, which effectively gets him to around 340 or so. 326 actually. And then next you want IG-11 to go and do his AoE because that does two things. It adds 5 stacks to the whistling birds. It adds tenacity down so that the next few scoundrels which go are able to apply debuffs to control the team pretty effectively. So that's that. He's going to be my third fastest um, a scoundrel. And then after that, the next two scoundrels, there's really tons of options that you can go with. I know that Clash recommends Enfys Nest and Cara Dune for their turn meter reduction capabilities and to apply days, and also given that both of them have got AOEs, which add five more stacks each to Whistling Birds, so that by the end of when Mandalorian's turn comes around, he'll have the full 20 stacks right away to go with. The five that he has to start with, given that the enemy is there, the enemy five team is going to be there, and five each for IG-11, Enfys Nest, and Cara Dune. So that's the team that Clash has recommended, which is the first one over here. I've got a few other teams that I wanted to talk about today. We've got the second team over here, which if you want to use, like me, if you want to use Cara Dune for your Rebel fighter team under Mon Mothma, then there are tons of other scoundrels which do AOEs, which can also prove to be equally effective. One of them is Captain Han, not Captain Han, but Veteran Han. This guy has got really one of the best AoEs in the game. It's an AoE ability block. Very few of those around there, so very effective to control the team. And especially if IG-11 has gone ahead and applied Tenacity down everywhere else, the AoE ability block is extremely effective to control the field. So even if the enemy gets to take a turn, they are effectively limited by what they can do. Days, AoE days from Nest is a beautiful thing to have. So let me actually show you an example of, and I'm going to go into the events. I'm going to go into the uh, the Malachor Old Republic Galactic event. I don't know what this event is called. Galactic Challenge, yeah. And this is the best place to test, really. And I'm going to go in and test one of these teams just to show you what the turn order is. And then we'll go through all the other teams, and I'll show you exactly how each of those works. So this is the team I want to take in. And as opposed to Cara Dune, I'm going to take in veteran smuggler Han. And what happens over here is, Quill gives his 25% turn meter. Mando goes next. He does his Whistling Bird thing. And now we're going to apply Tenacity Down, or the AoE, from IG-11. Keep in mind over here, the Tenacity Down is not going to be applied because the Galactic Challenge event has this special unique for Old Republic where they're immune to Tenacity Down. So ignore that part. In a real battle, you're going to have Tenacity Down over here. So then Nest gets to go, and she applies days everywhere and adds 5 more stacks. So you see Mando is at 15 stacks, and then Han gets to go, and you see that applied stun on the primary target and applied ability block on at least a couple of the other targets and prevented Revan from doing his special. So that's why I really love Han Solo over here. Cara Dune is also great for turn meter reduction, but Han Solo is just another character all by himself. So here you can see we are at 20 stacks, and we can target whoever we want. And I'm going to just slow it down a little bit just to show you how much damage each of these stacks of 20 does. Keep in mind, I have an R5 Mandalorian, which is modded for offense. I've got offense primaries in the arrow, triangle, as well as the cross, and all 6E. And let's take a look at how much damage gets done over here. 12.7k. So 12.7k per stack. So multiply that by 30, you get around 250, 260k total damage which gets done. So the first portion of the damage gets applied to the primary target, and then the rest of it gets applied to the weakest other character. In this particular case, we killed all of them. 270k damage was enough to kill all of them. Now let's take a look at some of the other teams that we can that can also prove to be effective. Another really great way of controlling the team through turn meter reduction is through Kira, because she also has an AoE which adds 5 stacks, and she can do stagger. And then when that gets followed up with another AoE from another scoundrel like Nest or Veteran Han, then what ends up happening is every one of the enemy's turn meter gets reduced to 0 again. So that's another effective way of controlling the turn meter. So I'm going to take in an example of Mando, Quill, IG, Kira, and Veteran Han, just to show you how that looks like, in case you want to use Nest elsewhere on offense or defense. So Quill, IG-11, and Mando are always going to be the core three in the team. The other two, in this case, I'm using Kira and Veteran Han. Let me just take a look at how this battle goes. So same concept. You use Quill to give speed up to everyone, and then do the thing from Mando, and then the AOE. And now here is where you do the stagger from Kira, which is the second special. Not everywhere the stagger will be applied, but if the tenacity down is there, then there's more of a chance for the stagger to be applied. So I'm going to target Jedi Knight Revan over here to see if I can apply the stun over there and ability block everywhere else. And then this AoE is going to pop all the staggers and reset everyone except for Basti zero down to zero turn meter, which is again great to see. And then the Whistling Birds are ready at this stage with full 20 stacks. So I'm going to slow it down again and show you how much it hits for. That's going to be again 12,500 to 13,000 damage per stack. Now, the other team that I wanted to show is, so the first few teams that I showed all have the same concept, which is you speed up everyone with Quill. You get the Whistling Birds set up with Mando, and then do the IG-11 Tenacity down AOE, and then follow it up with two more AOEs. I want to show a third option, another option where you end up using your Moff Gideon in the team, and I feel Moff Gideon has got amazing synergy with the Mando team, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what that synergy is over here. Now, Moff Gideon, just like the other characters that we talked about, which control turn meter, Moff Gideon has got a great ability to reduce everyone's turn meter to zero and give 25% turn meter to the allies. So that's again an excellent way to reduce the enemy's turn meter. And the way that you want to use him in this team is to make sure that he goes after the rest of your scoundrels have gone. So effectively, your scoundrels are going to get two turns before the enemy has even gotten to move. So basically, Quill goes first, your Mandalorian goes, and then IG-11, and then ideally Enfys Nest should go, and then Moff Gideon should go, so that he reduces everyone's turn meter down to zero, and then your team's turn meter is still ahead, 25%. Then the whole circle starts again. Quill goes, Mando goes, IG-11 goes, and then Nest goes. And then your whole team would have gone twice, and potentially eliminated the whole team, your whole enemy team before they get a chance to move. So that's the reason for using Moff Gideon over here. Reason number one. Reason number two is Moff Gideon has got this, when he uses the control the situation special, apart from the allies gaining turn meter, the allies also gain a special ability. Tank Storm for 2 turns. Attackers gain 50% offense, so they gain offense up for 2 turns. And support allies gain 100% protection up. There's no tanks in the team. IG-11 is a healer, but you do have 2 attackers. You've got Mando, and you've got the second one, which could be Nest or anyone else. Han, for example, or anyone else. And then you've got support characters. I think not IG-11, but Quill is going to be a support who's going to get some protection up. But the main thing over here is attack. Attackers get 50% offense up. So that essentially bumps up the damage that the Whistling Birds do by 50% because it's true damage. There's no modifiers on defense and all of that. So from 12.5k, it goes up to 18k almost, 17.5 to 18k. So I'll show you how that works over here. So I'm going to take Nest Moff Gideon into this battle. The order is going to be the same as you can see over here. Quill is going to go, give everyone turn meter. Mando is going to get into his position. I'm going to do the AoE from Quill, AoE from Nest. And you can see over here, we've got 15 stacks already. Now, even though this guy is not a scoundrel, so he's not going to be, Moff Gideon is not a scoundrel, so he won't be giving those extra scoundrel bonuses that Mando lead gives, but I believe his utility far outweighs that. So I'm going to give the third ability, control the situation over here, and you can see everyone's turn meter. Now 4 of my scoundrels have already gone, so they've all each taken 1 turn. The enemy hasn't moved yet. I'm going to do control the situation. Everyone's turn meter is down to 0. And my team, all of that turn meter is almost at full again. So my team gets to go for the second time with the enemy not taking a single turn at all. Moff Gideon goes, And now Mando goes before the enemy has got a chance to take a turn as well. And look at that. Mando has got 18 stacks, so not necessarily 20 stacks, but he's got offense up. Now let's take a look at how much each of these hits the enemy for. So you could see over there, it was 17 to 18k per stack. So that effectively translates to about 350 to 360k damage. And mine is only an R5 Mando. With an R7 Mando or an R8 Mando, that could very easily, I could see that going up to 20 to 22k hit per stack, which translates to about 400k to 440k damage in by the Mando, which is spread across all the enemy team. That is definitely going to one shot any team which is remaining out there. So that's basically how you use the Moff Gideon in this particular team. I feel there's tremendous value over here, and you can see over here my Moff Gideon is 3-star G11, and still he was able to get a decent job done. I think in this case his speed was 308, which after giving the 25% turn meter gain from Quill to the rest of the scoundrels, it's just below that particular threshold. So make sure that whatever speed you give Moff Gideon, after the scoundrels get the 25% speed bump from Quill, he'll be just below that so that he gets to go immediately after them and enable them to take 2 turns in a row. I'm going to show you one more battle, one more comp, which I feel is even better and allows you to use your Cara Dune and Nest in other positions. And that team is going to be with Lando in there. Now, Lando is another one of those scoundrels. He's a scoundrel, so he's going to get all the bonuses that Mandalorian is going to get. He's got an AoE, so he's going to be able to add to the stacks of Whistling Bird. Plus, he really benefits from offense up as well. And there are tons of ways in which Lando gets offense. Firstly, I've modded him for really good damage, crit damage and crit chance and all of that. Lando also gets offense from the leadership ability of Mando, which is going to be 5% extra offense per scoundrel ally. So he's going to get 20% offense bump at the beginning of the battle due to the leadership. He also gets offense from his double down unique. So once he goes for the second time, his second time AoE, and his AoE is available right away if he crits at all, which he's going to crit right away. His second time AoE is going to give 100% more damage on its next use. So that's the second way in which he gets offense or extra damage boost. The third way he's going to get is he's an attacker. So with the Moff Gideon's controller situation, he's also going to get offense up. So that's another 50% offense on top of that. So this 170% extra offense makes him crit like crazy amounts. And that's what I'm going to show over here. And it's not just a single hit. It's a multiple hit attack, an AoE attack, which makes Lando even more deadly in this team, especially with Moff Gideon. So let's see the battle again. Quill gives everyone turn meter. Mando goes and gets into this position. We do the AoE from IG-11, and then this is going to be the first AoE from Lando. And you can see over here I've timed it so that Lando goes. All 4 of my scoundrels go just before Moff Gideon. So Lando over here does his AoE, the first AoE, which is regular damage and does about 30k damage. So you can ignore that. The reason he's attacking multiple times is because of this Galactic Challenge unique where rebels get to attack multiple times. So ignore that multiple attack portion. But you could see that his AoE did about 33k damage per shot. Now I go ahead and use Moff Gideon to reduce everyone's turn meter and give offense up to everyone, or at least to the attackers. And now you can see over here, Mando is at 20 stacks. Now I'm going to slow this down, and then I'm going to show you what each stack hits for. Okay, that was, I believe, about 17 to 18k per stack because Moff Gideon was in there. But I'm going to do the battle again because I didn't get a chance to show what Lando was able to hit for. So I'm going to do this. Let's do this, and let's see if we can prevent killing these guys. Let's reduce the turn meter, and let's do this. So that's the problem. I think I'm killing these guys too fast. I'm not able to showcase what Lando is going to hit for. Okay, so now we are able to get at least a single character alive while Lando has his AoE available. Now let's take a look at this. 88K. So look at that. And I've got crits up to 97K as well while I was testing. So imagine that, like whatever Mando is not able to kill with this 350 to 400K Whistling Bird damage, Lando is going to come in and finish off the rest of the team with 100K AoE. And all this before the enemy has had a chance to go. At least if you time your the mods on your scoundrel team right. So that's essentially the comp that I wanted to demonstrate. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the video that Clash put out on Scoundrels with Mando in the description of the video down below. And I'm also going to link in Vancel's video. Vancel is a bounty hunter expert. And he has been using Mando with the bounty hunters in a really unique way as well. His bounty hunters are all R7, but so it's all nice for me to see. I don't think I'll be able to achieve that level of Mando with bounty hunters, but if you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave both those links in the video down below. And now let's go ahead and get into the GAC itself. So our opponent today is Dark Wing. And one of the advantages of streaming with a PC is I can show you guys my Excel sheet that I used to prepare. So this is taken from Discord. There's a bot which does these comparisons. So this is the comparison of my matchup with Darkwing. Um, so I do have higher lifetime banners, about 612K as opposed to 463K, and my offensive and defensive wins or holds are also much more. 671 defensive holds. That's something that I try to track as high as possible. In terms of the rest of the summary, nothing much to really call out over here except the fact that I severely outmod my opponent. 344 60 mods as opposed to 132 for my opponent. Um, a few more Zetas as well. Nothing much to call out over here. In terms of GLs, I've got two GLs. He's got two GLs. I've got both the light side ones, and he's got the two original ones, Ray and SLKR. And he's kept both on defense, as you'll see. So it's going to be an interesting offense. My DR is faster than his DR, which is why I've kept my own DR team on defense without HK because I'm saving him for the feat. But otherwise, yeah, nothing much to call out over here. Let me show you something else that I do in while analyzing my opponent. So what I do is I set up this. I go through my opponent's history in swgoh.gg. So here what I've done is I've captured the first 3 weeks of my opponent's history, and I've noted down exactly what kind of teams that they have kept on defense by taking a look at their opponent's offense. And this is what I've been able to make out. They like to keep both Ray and SLKR on defense almost every single time, as you can see. And for ships, he's kept Home 1 and Radis. So I've kept both my get 2 ships on defense since I can counter Home 1 and Radis with my other ships. And I've also kept both my GLs on offense because I want to be able to mirror Ray and then take JML versus SLKR. But some of the other teams also, you see GG seems to be pretty common. Night Sisters, Geos, Finn, all these seem to be pretty common teams that my opponent has usually set. And what I do is I take a look at how my opponent's battles have gone and in what order they've attacked to set up a probable defense to basically get an idea about where their defenses might be placed. All of this I do before I place my own defense. So just by looking at the pattern of my opponent's enemies' attacks, I'm able to figure out that most likely they're going to have Ray and SLKR at the top guarding the ship zone. And then they'll probably have General Grievous, given that General Grievous is one of the first teams to be taken out usually. they will probably have General Grievous, some version of General Grievous team down south blocking it. And I estimated either Night Sisters or Geos at the bottom with Rolo and Mon Mothma team at the back. There could be Finn also because my opponent has kept Finn quite a lot as well. So I make up this probable defense, which basically helps me to uh, decide how tough I want to keep my own defense and what all I should save for offense to take out my opponent's defenses. So given that given this analysis, let's go ahead and take a look at what my opponent has actually set on defense. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Um, so you can see over here, let me actually briefly go through my own defenses first. I've kept a GG new team as well in the front and I've kept Darth Revan without HK. And at the back, I've kept two tough teams, CLS and GAS. I'm hoping that GAS is exhausted over here to make the counters at the back tougher. And given that my opponent won't have GLs, I think they might have some problem in this zone at the back. Up top, I've kept a Padme team, I've kept a Finn Heroes team, and I've kept the Mon Mothma team. My opponent has usually taken in gas or something else heavier against Mon Mothma, never really taken in Sith. So I'm hoping that they struggle over there as well. And then obviously the two get ships over here on defense. Now let's take a look at my opponent's defenses and whether I have guessed accurately or not. So you can see over here, he's kept both Ray and SLKR up top. Ray always with Malak. So that part of my prediction was accurate. Kept Night Sister team over here, shouldn't be much of a problem. Down south is where they've kept the GG team, GG Newt. So that portion of the prediction also was accurate. Finn, I thought they might keep at the back, but they've kept in the front. No worries. But what I think they might, based on what we have seen so far, what I think they might keep at the back is either a Mon Mothma team or Geos or Rolo. One of those three could be there at the back. And the rest, I think we should be able to take out pretty easily. So let's go ahead and get started with the offense. I obviously want to clear it's a good thing they haven't kept the GLs down south because it allows me to see the whole board before deciding what to take against his GLs up north. And I can overkill them if I need to. So let's get started with the General Grievous battle. And given that we've just spoken about the Mando, I really, really want to use the Mandalorian, Beskar Mandalorian against the GG team. So the core three are going to be Mando, IG-11, and Quill. And then for the other two, there are many ways in which I can go. I can go with veteran Han, who can start with a stun and ability block on everyone. So even if B2 gets a turn, hopefully he'll be ability blocked and he might not be able to do his AOE. He's got 104% tenacity, which is tough. Okay, so the other thing I could do is I could take a Nest and hope that she lands days on B2, and then we wait for Mando's whistling birds to take the enemy out. But I do want to try Moff Gideon as well because I think Moff Gideon is he's definitely going to reduce the enemy's offense and speed and all of that stuff. Let's see what all he does. So this is a team I'm planning to take in. Nest for the days and reducing turn meter, and Moff Gideon for his control the situation, which is going to reduce enemy turn meter and demoralize. So what demoralize does is less often, less critical chance, less critical damage. So the offense is not going to affect General Grievous because his offense is based on health, but it's good to have less critical chance and less critical damage on General Grievous. So I think I'm going to take in these guys and see if Mandalorian's increased offense with the whistling birds is able to take out Grievous and a couple of other droids in one shot. So I'm going to go ahead with this and see how the battle shapes up. So keep in mind, this is the very first time I'm trying out Mandalorian against a real team. All right, so I'm going to give everyone turn meter. Oh, you know what? There is no IG-11 which is why um, which is why there's no Grievous is not on the stealth. Anyway, that's interesting to see. Um, I am going to probably save the AoE, given that that might trigger B2. So I'm just going to use the heal ability, and then hopefully this should land a daze. Okay, it did land a daze on B2, which is good to see, even though it was 100% tenacity, 100 tenacity B2. And now I'm going to reduce everyone's turn meter, and then let's just shock B2, and let's land a. Let's just do a. Okay, let's just land a armor shred over there. Now I've got 12 stacks of Whistling Bird with offense up. I'm going to slow this down. It's not the 20 that I wanted, but I think it should be more than enough for Grievous. 17k. 17k damage, but the 12 stacks weren't enough. All right, so let me see if I can't. Excellent, 67k. So Nest was able to finish the job. So that's really great to see. Because Nest also is an attacker, so she also has offense up. So good to see her reduce that, take care of Grievous pretty easily. Now we just need to get these guys down, the rest of them. Nest can dispel with a basic, I think, but I don't know if she'll be able to dispel the damage immunity. Defensive buffs. I don't know if this counts as a defensive buff. It does. Okay, let's shock. Excellent. Now we're doing a decent job. Let's go after B2. Let's heal up Quill and put some foresight up. Let's give everyone turn meter again. There goes B2. And now let's take care of, there we go. Excellent. So Newt is taken care of. The whole team is taken care of. I think it's a good thing I brought in Nest because she has a dispel on basic, which I think is pretty useful. I'm going to give damage immunity to IG-11, given that Droidica is probably going to give a big shot and try to take him out. I'm going to do a basic to dispel the damage immunity. Excellent. So the damage immunity came in handy, and I think we might be ending with full health and full protection. The other thing that Gideon ended up doing was he ended up reducing Droidica's critical damage, critical chance, and offense. That's always good to have on Relic Droidica. So 60 banners. I'm pretty happy with that battle. Very first time I was using Mando. Maybe I should have gone for more stacks of Whistling Bird, maybe up to 20, given that it didn't really 12 stacks weren't really enough to get the job done on Grievous, even though each of them was hitting for like 17, 18k. So maybe I should risk B2 being triggered and still go with IG-11 next time, just to get those extra 5 stacks. Anyway, we can figure that out in the next battle. As we use Mando on offense more, we can figure out what works best over there. But 60 banners is a good outcome against Grievous, especially a Grievous with Newt, which can always make it tricky, even for Gas, Padme. Even if you take those kind of counters against Grievous with Newt, you always end up with lost banners. So Mando is a hard counter to Grievous just because he can go around stealth and potentially nuke Grievous. But I think Nest, just going through the battle once again, I think Nest was really essential in the counter against Grievous because A, she was able to ignore taunt and finish up the job with Grievous. B, she was able to dispel Droidica. And then she was able to land the days on B2, which is very critical. So I think if you're going up against Grievous, I would definitely go with the core 3, which is Mando, IG-11, and Quill. Go with Nest. And then the fourth, you could vary between, Moff Gideon or Vet Han maybe, or Kira or Cara Dune maybe. Tons of options out there. All right, let's take our JTR squad against the Resistance and get that team taken care of. It doesn't have the heroes. It doesn't have JTR. So I think my droid squad should be able to get it done, and I should be able to complete a feat over here as well with HK and T3M4. Let's take this in. Let's do this. Hopefully land ability block over here. Not landed ability block, but we should be able to push back that turn meter a little bit. And I'm going to try to delete maybe Resistance Trooper before he gets to move. Let's do this. Okay, let's keep going after him. Let's get a taunt up again. I was afraid of that cleanse. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, we don't have a tank anymore, but let's keep going after these guys. Hopefully we should be able to take them out. These guys got tons of offense, man. Maybe this was a mistake. If I had R2, I think it would have been great. I'm going to probably lose this one. Okay, let's get the... Let's see if he can't take out Ray. Not yet. Ooh, that's so close. Let's just get rid of her. You never know. Maybe these two might just be able to get the job done. Let's reduce turn meter over here and take care of Finn. Excellent. And now let's take care of Poe. Not really that bothered about Rose. Yeah, I was able to get the job done, but not great banners. But I think I was at least able to get the feat done. Okay, so this will probably end with what, 40, maybe 50 banners? Yeah, probably be 50 or so. 50, exactly. Okay, so not that great banners, but at least we were able to get the feat done. Maybe if I had R2, I think that I would have had better control, more stat sharing, and it would have been a much more straightforward. Okay, so it looks like a prediction was right. We do have Geos and Mon Mothma at the back, like I predicted. So this should be pretty easy to take out. I think we can probably undersize a few of these to do a decent job. Let's make a plan, and then we will come back with a plan. All right, let's take out the two GLs at the top first, and then we can focus on the other teams. Now I want to take out Ray first, and it has a couple of tanks, three tanks actually, and then it's got Nest in there. But I'm just going to go in with um, my Revan squad or Jedi squad with Ray, plenty of healing and foresight to see if I can get the job done over here. So let's take this in. I've got ability block with Basti, which is going to be important for Ray. Let's give this to Basti. I want her to survive. Let's land an ability block over here on Ray. And let's see, what do I want to do? I think I just want to go after her. Let's just spread some foresight around and keep going after Ray with Yoda. Okay, 2 dodges, which is good. Let's keep giving protection up. Let's give this to Basti so she can do another ability block. Save the big heal. All right, let's do this. And now we can shift our damage to Malik, given that he's not light side. All right, he's not taunting anymore. Let's just dispel him. Excellent. Okay, let's save our big hit for now. Let's just do a basic over here, get rid of the foresight. And keep giving protection up to everyone. Let's give this to Yoda. Spread this around. And mark Rey again. She still hasn't gone into damage immunity, but I think she will probably go there now. Excellent. Now we can. Let's get rid of Holdo. There we go. Okay, that's the second ultimate. We still have time. We can't target Revan, unfortunately, given that I've got Mark on Rey. But that's fine. I think we should be able to take at least some out with the ultimate over here. Excellent. So a couple of guys out, still saving the big heal. Let's keep working on Rey. Now the damage immunity is gone. Let's mark her again. And let's give this to Yoda. Keep going after her. Keep buffing up everyone. Okay, we survived one hit. Let's give this to Revan. Almost done. Don't know if he'll be... Oh, there we go. This should take care of her. Excellent. Now it's we've got a minute to clean up, which should be easy enough. Yeah, I think this should take care of it. Let's just give a big heal to everyone. Make sure that we have everyone topped up. Old Ben is in damage immunity, so he's not going to die from this whirlwind. But we will be able to take care of him once he comes out of damage immunity. And this should end with full 60 banners. I'm not going to do the lifeblood because we are almost going to get rid of old Ben now. So there's 60 banners. Pretty straightforward match. This is the reason I keep Rey on offense for mirrors like these. Against this is a straightforward SLKR team. I'm just going to go with my full Jedi squad. Yep, I think this should be it. I don't really need Jolie, but that's fine. I think this team should be able to get the job done. There's plenty of stuns and ability blocks. It should be fine. Okay, come on. Hate it when this gets stuck like this. There we go. Okay, ability block on everyone, which is good to see. Let's reduce everyone's turn meter again. Let's top up Jedi Master Luke. Stun everyone. And let's go after one of these guys. Let me actually just try to take out Sith Trooper. And then keep calling Luke over there to assist. Give him some of that. Call Luke again, and there we go. He might actually go off into ultimate right now, which means we may end up... All right, we may end up eating something. Let's see. Let's keep calling him. There we go. He's gone into ultimate, so we'll have to wait till he comes out. And we lost Shark T, which was unfortunate. Let's see if he can get into our ultimate at least. There we go. But we lost Shakti, so there's no way to really get the heal back. But I think we should be still fine. Let's keep calling Luke. And this should do it. Okay. 53, not the best banners, but we made up for some during the 60 that we got with Ray. Ray just gives so much better control. Okay, now for the rest, I'll need to maximize my banners, given that I had a 50, a 53 here and there. So I need to take in good stuff. Let's see. What else do I have? I've got geos. I've got my bounty hunters. I've got Vader. I think I'll probably take in my Vader against this geo squad. Maybe instead of yeah, I think these guys should be enough. Okay, let's take this in. Let's see what we're able to get done. Let's go into Merciless, do an AoE on Brood, and let's start sniping people. Let me just get rid of Brood Alpha right away, because I think I should be able to one-shot the others with the Vader's basic. Sunfac, I think they should do it. Yep. Probably didn't need a Sith trooper in there as well, but that's fine. But at least we saved Watt for another team. And I think I'm going to use Watt over here. But I do have my bounty hunters as well. I've got my Treya too. Maybe I use Treya over here. Let's see, what can I do that'll get me maximum banners? You know what? I haven't used my Wampa in a while. Maybe I'll use Wampa with Stormtrooper Han and Watt. You know what? Maybe I'll just play it safe and take Geos with the I don't know what to do. Okay, let's do this. We have Treya, so maybe Treya and Thrawn we can use against this squad over here. What are the speeds on this? 189. Yeah, let's use Treya and Thrawn over there. And then we'll use the bounty hunters over there in the other place. Probably don't need Nihilus. I want to throw in my Wampa as well. Maybe these guys with Watt. Yeah, I think Bounty Hunter should be able to finish off the Geos pretty easily. Let's use this. Want to end with at least 61 if I can. Let's give Weapons Tech to Wampa. Taunt Tech to Thrawn. Pass the turn meter over to Treya. Isolate. And let's fracture Biggs. And let's have Wampa start one-shotting everyone. All right, I'm going to do a protection up, protection recovery, because I think this battle is probably going to get over pretty soon. Let's get rid of Chirrut. Let's give this to Treya. And let's get rid of Baze. Let's give this back to Wampa so that he's topped up. And let's get rid of, yeah, there we go, 61. Okay, that was a good outcome. Um, so I think we just reached Khyber as well. Yeah, I rarely get to use my Wampa these days. I feel a little bad about that, but whenever I get a chance, I think I should always do it. Let's use our bounty hunters over here, and I'm going to use boss lead. It's been a while since I've done that. And Dengar. Yeah, Django by himself should be more than enough to one-shot a lot of these guys. But boss lead is best for protection recovery, so I think I'm just going to go in for a full 60. Um, let's dispel this. Lost the taunt, which is not great. Let's see if we can get rid of Talzin right away. Not yet. How about now? There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have only Talzin left towards the end so that I can recover full 60 banners on these guys. Don't know if that's going to be possible with our acolyte under stealth, but let's see. Let's just go after zombie, get the second death. And let's start working on doing some AoEs and start working on these guys. There we go. Acolyte is out, but this is probably going to, I need to wait for Django to kill her. Let's do this. Okay, Django or Boba should do. Now we can make sure that we end with full health and full protection. I think we do have that on everyone, so let's finish this. Okay, 60 banners there. All right, now let's finish off the ships and then we can call it a day and then wait for my opponent to go. Okay. Let's see what ships they have. And as we expected, Radis and Home 1. Now that is a 7-star Radis. It's probably the first time I'm facing a 7-star Radis. But it does not have the Houndstooth. So I do have the advantage there. I'm going to go in for a mirror in both these cases. Maybe, I don't know, maybe do I want to use my Empire fleet against the Millennium Falcon, against the Home 1 fleet? I don't know, the Rebel Wiving is making me doubt it. Let's do one thing. Let's do the Radis fleet first. And then we can decide what we want to take against the other one. Okay, Scoundrel. And let's use this. Okay, I think this should be enough against the Radis. I'm going to go after Scavenger Ray, given that there is no tank over here taunting. Let's do this. I'm going to use my specials as much as I can so that I reach ultimate faster. Let's get the Raise Millennium Falcon in there and use my special here. So that was dodged. That was good to see. Let's see what comes out. His resistance X-Wing came out. Let's keep going after Ray. We have lost taunt on our Houndstooth, but let's see if this is able to finish off at least one. Excellent. Let's keep going after Poe since he's the only one out of stealth right now. Excellent. That foresight was good, but only for one turn. Now we got the taunt back up. Now it should be relatively straightforward. We have our ultimate. Enemy ships are gone. We have 5 ships versus their 2 ships. Let's target this with Poe, finish him off, and only 1 ship left. I think we should end with decent banners, maybe 67, 66 maybe. 66. Okay, we missed a little bit of health on Poe. Last fleet, and then we are done. For this, I think I'm definitely going to go with the Rebel Mirror. Much more reliable. Especially with Biston in there. It's definitely a better way to go. Do I need... Can probably take one more. My wedge. Okay, I think that should be enough. So I need to get the Y-wing down as soon as I can. Let's get some defense penetration up on the board. And now let's target the Y-wing. Let's hope this mass attack takes it out. Excellent. Now we can go after Biggs. Our own Biggs is gone. That's a problem with Rebel Mirror matches. It's you tend to lose at least one ship, usually. But luckily I have a backup tank. The Y-wing is always the first ship I bring out. Let's get another ability or target lock. And now let's just go after the Falcon. We really don't need to do this, but let's just do it on that. There's the AoE. Let's try to... Okay, let's try to see if we can't get rid of Han's Millennium Falcon right away. Excellent. I'm just going to go call in Cassian and call in assist and get rid of the ship right away. And we end with 65, I think, or maybe 64 probably, given that we lost Biggs. 63. Okay, not too bad. So we end with 21-21, which I think is decent. We lost a few banners over here in the Finns lineup, and a few on SLKR as well. But I think almost all the others we got about 59-61. So 21-21 is fine. I think it still puts pressure on my opponent, especially because they're going second and they have a target that they need to reach. It's going to be tricky because they'll have to be efficient in all their battles. So hoping that puts pressure on them, especially given the fact that they don't have any of their GLs on offense, and they don't have Malik. So the DR team is severely hampered as well. So I'll give you guys an update shortly after my opponent has had a chance to go. All right, guys. So my opponent is still not gone, and I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and upload my video. I don't think seeing my back zone is going to be that much of an issue for my opponent. So efficiency is still efficiency. So I'm not that bothered about posting it before he's had a chance to expose my back zone. So I'll go ahead and upload my video now, and I will update you guys in the comment section on what the final score of my opponent is at. So I'll catch you guys in a couple of days for match number 2. Thanks for tuning in.